Hi, everyone, and welcome back to English for You. I'm Erin.
And I'm Elsie.
And we finished off yesterday's article, Elsie, by talking about our perfect cities.
Omelas.
Now, I kind of want to talk about something that we wish we could be perfect at.
So what are some of the things you want to be perfect at,
Well, I would like to be perfect at never making other people angry.
Never making
sad.
other people angry or sad. That's so hard.
It is, right? It's something that I worry about. I don't want to make other people upset.
But you cannot control people's feelings, right?
Exactly. Well, I'm just talking about my perfect world, Elsie.
Yeah, okay, sorry.
Yeah. I'd also like to be perfect at cooking.
Cooking. You like to cook.
I like to bake.
You like to bake?
Yeah, I'm not a very good cook, but I'm
Why
a good
haven't
baker.
I got any desserts from you?
Because you're not coming up to visit my office.
All right.
What about you?
For me, I'm not a perfectionist, but I do want to have a perfect job.
So be perfect at your job.
Yeah. And have a perfect body. So I hit the gym quite a lot.
Or it could just be magic. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah.
All right.
I wish.
Yeah, me too. All right. Well, we all have things that we want to be perfect at or have the perfect thing of. But, of course, that can't happen. So let's find out how Omelas is really not that perfect in today's article.
Reading. The ones who walk away from Omelas. Omelas has a secret. Somewhere in the city, under its most beautiful building, there is a dark, dirty room. Inside, there is a child. Omelas has kept the child locked away for years, slowly starving it in this prison. The poor being lives in misery and begs to be let out. This can never happen, though. If a single kind word is spoken to this lonely prisoner, the whole city will be destroyed. When Omelians turn 12 or 13 years old, they are taken to see the child. Many cry for weeks after. They wish they could save it. As time passes, though, they stop caring. After all, isn't it better for one person to suffer rather than all of Omelas? Not everyone who sees the child prisoner returns home to cry, though. Some walk silently out of their paradise city and into the wild. They go in search of somewhere better. But where is this? Nobody knows.
All right, our article actually starts out with a simple sentence. It says, Omelas has a secret.
这个城市有一个秘密. What is this secret?
Now, of course, we all know that perfect things are maybe not really perfect. So, the secret is somewhere in the city, under its most beautiful building, there is a dark, dirty room.
在这个城市的某处最漂亮的建筑物之下，有一个黑暗、肮脏的地方。这个房间里面到底是什么呢？ Is there anything or anybody in the room?
Yes.
What?
It says, inside, there is a child.
不是东西还是个小孩 There is a child. Why is a child inside the room?
Well, here's where things get a little bit scary in Omelas.
It is scary.
It says, Omelas has kept the child locked away for years, slowly starving it in this prison.
Wow. 那我们先来看个英文练功房吧，再继续说课文哈。在英文练功房里面呢，我们今天要看到的是主词加上 leave 或者是 keep， 再加上受词以及受词补语的句型。那在这个 句型当中呢 leave 跟 keep 用来表示使人或物保持在怎么样的状态。受词后方呢搭配的受词补语可以是形容词、名词、现在分词或是过去分词。那第一个我们先来说后面加上形容词的用法。For example, it's cold out, but my thick jacket is keeping me warm. 外面很冷，但我的厚夹克外套让我保持温暖。第二个，我们来看加名词的用法。Henrietta's family kept her illness a secret. Henrietta 的家人呢，不让别人知道她的病痛。那第三个，我们看到加上现在分词，也就是主动的用法哦。Cheryl forgot to turn off the fan and left it running last night. Cheryl 忘记关电风扇，让它整晚都在运转。那第四个我们要看到是文章上面的用法，它后面是加过去分词，也就是表示被动。Omelas has kept the child locked away for years. 欧麦拉城把这个小孩关在这个房间好多年了。They locked him up.
That's right. Okay, so when you lock somebody away or lock somebody up, you put them in a space and don't let them out of it. Now, to do this, you'll have to lock the door or use bars on the door or windows so that they can't get out. Maybe even have a room with no windows and always locked door. Now, we often hear this phrase when we talk about putting people in jail. We say we're going to lock them up. That means we're putting them in jail. Here's another example. These tools are really dangerous, so I lock them up in a cupboard every night.
Lock somebody away or up, 或是 lock something away or up 代表就是把某个人或某个东西锁起来。那如果特别讲人的话呢，代表是把某个人监禁起来。So the article tells us that they have locked this child away for years, slowly starving it in this prison.
That's right. We have two more words to look at in this sentence. The first one is the verb starve. Now, when you starve another person, you don't give them any food to eat so that they start to get sick and then die from hunger. Now, often, when you're hungry, you can joke and say, I'm starving. Now, this is just a silly way to show that you're really hungry, but starving another person, like they're doing here in the story, is really nothing to joke about. It's actually very serious, and you can get in a lot of trouble if you do it. Now, of course, other people starve themselves, often because they have an illness or because they're trying to protest in jail or something like that, but you don't really hear about that too often. That's a pretty kind of rare event. Now, here's an example sentence. The young kids forgot to feed their fish for a week, and it starved.
Oh, poor fish. Starve 这个动词呢是挨饿或是饿死。那它的名词呢，同学们要会叫做 starvation。For example, there are still people suffering from starvation in some parts of the world. 世界上的某处呢，还是有人遭受饥饿所苦。那我们说的 suffer from starvation 就是遭受饥饿所苦的意思。Aaron, I haven't had breakfast. I'm starving.
Elsie, you're supposed to eat in the mornings. It's
I
healthy.
know, but I got up so late.
Oh, well, you got to change your habits, Elsie.
I will. I'll try.
Well, what we said in the article here was that they are slowly starving this child in the prison. Now, just one note about this sentence. The reason we're using it to talk about the child is because in the story, it kind of takes the face away from the child, which is what the people are trying to do. They're trying to not treat it like a real human, right? So we're not giving it sort of like a he or a she. We're only calling this child as it. Yeah. Now, the child, we are saying it is in this prison. Now, a prison is a place where people are kept locked up after they've been found guilty of a crime or when they are waiting to go to court. It's similar to the word jail, but a prison is actually much larger than a jail. Now, sometimes we use this word prison to describe a terrible situation that you can't get out of. For example, we could say, Susan isn't allowed to leave the classroom until her teacher does. So it feels like a prison to her. It's not an actual prison, but it feels like one. Here's another example. The robber was taken to prison after she was found guilty of stealing the car.
Prison 这个名词是监狱，那还有另外一个解释监狱的字呢是 jail， 不过它的规模比起 prison 要来得小。那在 prison 的字尾呢加上 er， 我们会看到 prisoner， 它就是囚犯、犯人的意思。
Okay, so of course we're going to describe this situation that the child is in a little bit. It says, the poor being lives in misery and begs to be let out. Now, when you let somebody or something out, usually of a place, you let them go free and you stop keeping them in a place. So it's sort of the opposite of lock someone away, is to let somebody out. Here's an example. Don't let the dog out yet. There's a strange cat in the yard.
Let somebody or something out 是放出或是释放人或是动物。那文章里面说到的是这个可怜的小孩，他 begs to be let out， 后面用的是一个被动，但是 let 这个字三态同形，所以我们还是看到过去分词以 let let 的形式呈现。那文章里面那一句说到的还有一个字是 being， 它代表的是人类或是生物。那这边当然指的就是那个被关起来的小孩，他不断的祈求，希望能够被放出来。But will somebody let him out?
Well, we don't know that yet. Just before we move on in the story, let's briefly talk about the word misery. We saw that the being lives in misery, and misery is sort of a bad or sad state somehow. You have bad feelings.
痛苦，那它的形容词 miserable，
Yeah.
形容词 miserable， 痛苦的。
All right. Well, to answer your question, Elsie, it says in here in the article, this can never happen, though.
Why not?
So we can never let the child out. Well, it says here, if a single kind word is spoken to this lonely prisoner, the whole city will be destroyed.
Wow.
Okay, so let's talk about this important adjective single here. Now, single means only one. So if anybody says even one kind thing to this child, everything will fall apart. Their perfect life will be over. Just one word. Now, as an example, we could say, there are 14 spoons in this drawer, but not one single fork.
Single 这个形容词是单一的或是仅一个的。那如果我们有时候填表格，你要勾你是单身还是结婚 ，single 单身的 ，married 已婚的。那文章说到，如果有人跟这个小孩说任何一句好话，就会有坏事发生。任何一句好话哦 ，the whole city will be destroyed.
That's right. So this verb, destroy, so when you destroy something, you damage or harm it until it can no longer be used because it's gone, it doesn't exist anymore, or it's ruined. Sort of, it just won't work. It's kind of still there, but it won't work, or it's just too broken and you'll never be able to fix it. As an example, we could say, the enemy army destroyed many buildings here during the war.
Destroy 这个动词就是破坏。毁灭，那它的过去式跟过去分词规则变化，在字尾加上 ed 就可以了。那这件坏事，文章说到的坏事，就是整个城市会毁灭。
All right, so this child is living in this dark, dirty prison, and of course, if anybody says anything kind to this child, the whole perfect Omelas will go away.
Right.
All right. People in Omelas, they do meet this child.
They do?
They do know about this child. It says, when Omelians turn 12 or 13 years old, they are taken to see the child.
所以欧麦拉的市民一旦到了12或13岁，他们会被带去见这个被关起来的孩子。When they are 13 or 12 or 13 years old, they go to see the child.
That's right. Now, of course, If you believe your life is perfect and then you see something like this, especially at that young age, you will probably be very affected by it.
Right.
Which is why here in our article it says many cry for weeks after. They wish they could save it.
这边的 many 代表是去看那个小孩的很多人，他们看过之后呢，就会哭上好几周。那他们也会希望可以救这个孩子。But, okay, I know they wish they could save it. So that means they can't do it, right?
Well, they can't unless they destroy their entire world, right?
So they have to choose. They have to make a choice.
Keep this child living in misery or lose my perfect life? It's a tough one. It says here, as time passes, though, they stop caring.
那随着时间过去，他们也就会淡忘，不再想到这个孩子了。
It's kind of like as more and more garbage piles up in our world, we stop caring less and less because we believe we can never fix it.
Yeah, and we're used to it.
It seems like a good story for our world here. All right, it says here, after all, isn't it better for one person to suffer rather than all of Omelas?
Good question.
So we see the phrase after all here, which is just used to add more information to explain something we're talking about. So before we said that people stopped caring about the child, then we added more information to explain why. Maybe it's better for one person to suffer instead of everybody. Here's an example sentence. Why do you keep buying books? We do live next to the library, after all.
After all 这个片语呢，表示毕竟的意思。那我们在文章里面还看到 suffer 这个字。What does suffer mean?
Well, suffer means to experience something bad or to have something bad or unpleasant happen to you. For example, those people suffered a lot during the war.
Suffer 这个动词呢，是受苦或是遭受某事的磨难。那我们还看到一个片语哦，在这个句子当中是 rather than， 代表的是而不是。所以文章说到，毕竟一个人受苦不是比全部的欧麦拉市民受苦好吗？
Okay, so we've asked the question now, Elsie. What is going to happen? It says, not everyone who sees the child prisoner returns home to cry, though.
不过呢，不是所有的人看到这个被囚禁的孩子之后，就回家难过哭泣。So what do those people do?
Well, it says, some walk silently out of their paradise city and into the wild. Now, what they're walking into the wild here, the noun wild is a place that is completely natural and untouched by humans. Now, this doesn't talk about cities. It doesn't even talk about the countryside where people have farms. This talks about places that humans don't really go and where you really only find plants and animals. So, for example, how would you survive if you found yourself alone in the wild?
The wild 这边的 wild 是名词，代表野外或是野生的环境。那 wild 本身也可以当作形容词哦，代表野生的，像是 wild animals 野生的动物。那文章说到呢，有些人会默默地走出欧麦拉市，然后走到野外去。What are they going to do there?
Well,
they want to leave the city, right?
Yeah, they just can't stand living with this horrible question about can I be perfect if this child isn't? So it says they go in search of somewhere better. But where is this? All right, so let's look at the phrase in search of. Now, we use this phrase to show that someone is looking for something and that it might take them a long time to find it. So, for example, I need to go in search of some strange ingredients for tomorrow's dinner.
In search of 这个片语呢是寻找。那文章最后说到呢，他们去寻找一个更好的地方，可是又问了我们 But where is this?
Well,
那个地方又在哪里呢？
That's our question, right? Where is another perfect place? And the answer, Elsie? Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. 没有人知道。 那我们第二天的文章就结尾了。We've reached to the end.
All right. Well, we have come to the end of our story. It's left us with some pretty important questions, Elsie.
Yeah.
We're going to kind of go over one of those questions here in today's For You Chat.
For You Chat.
All right, our For You Chat question today. Imagine you were an O'Malian. What would you do after seeing the child?
So I have to imagine I was 12 or 13 and I got to see the child.
Right.
And after seeing the child, I think I would probably secretly contact my friends and my age and to discuss this problem with them to see what their ideas are, and maybe we can secretly plan something together.
So not just crying about it and then stopping
No.
caring, not leaving, but a totally other way of doing it.
Yeah,
You're a
maybe-
revolutionary.
Maybe we can try to save the kid. Maybe after we save the kid, nothing happens.
Yeah. I
Nobody
don't know.
knows.
Nobody knows. All right. Well, if it was me, I would like to say that I would wander into the wild, Elsie, because I feel so badly for the child. I
Right.
can't be part of his torture. But, I am thinking about the way that I kind of live in my normal life. And, I do care about the amount of pollution and stuff there is, but it's hard to live a life with not stopping caring about those things, right? Because there's so many things that I want for the world, but without the money to change them, I can't really do a lot. So I do make small changes in my own life, but, I don't do enough to stop the people who are making the terrible choices, like big industry leaders and stuff like that, right? So
Right, and they have all the money.
Right. And so I do know that there's more I could do, but I would have to say that I would probably be one of those people who cries and then stops caring. But that's my honest answer, Elsie.
I know.
Yeah. So this is an interesting question. It's going to really question the way that we live in our own lives, right?
Yeah, it's very interesting.
All right. Well, you guys can talk about this too. Don't be afraid to be honest. There are no right answers because, of course, nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
That's right. All right. Well, we will see you again tomorrow to talk more about the themes we've seen in today's article. So come back then. For now, we're saying bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
The ones who walk away from Omelas. Omelas has a secret. Somewhere in the city, under its most beautiful building, there is a dark, dirty room. Inside, there is a child. Omelas has kept the child locked away for years, slowly starving it in this prison. The poor being lives in misery and begs to be let out. This can never happen, though. If a single kind word is spoken to this lonely prisoner, the whole city will be destroyed. When O'Malians turn 12 or 13 years old, they are taken to see the child. Many cry for weeks after. They wish they could save it. As time passes, though, they stop caring. After all, isn't it better for one person to suffer rather than all of Omelas? Not everyone who sees the child prisoner returns home to cry, though. Some walk silently out of their paradise city and into the wild. They go in search of somewhere better. But where is this? Nobody knows.
Vocabulary Review.
Starve. The poor dog was so skinny, it looked like its owners had been starving it. Prison. The prison's strong stone walls keep all the criminals inside from escaping. Single. There isn't even a single tree left on that hill. They've all been cut down. Destroy. A powerful earthquake destroyed many buildings in the city. Suffer. In some countries, people still suffer because of poor medical care and dirty water. Wild. This animal can't be found in the wild anymore, and there are only a few left in zoos.
以上节目是由活用空中美语制作，活用空中美语杂志，请洽询全国各大书店。如欲索取试听教材，请来电02-2364-4000 02-2364-4000，或上网查询，网址是 www.english4u.net www.english4u.net